Peace. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters, everybody who's watching this, wherever you are, whoever you be, whatever you believe, whatever you follow, whatever you teach, whatever you practice. Peace and love to everybody. Just want to send some love energy out to all y'all, let y'all know that I appreciate you. If you haven't heard it today, you're beautiful. If you haven't heard it today, you're special. If you haven't heard it today, you were born for a higher purpose. Don't ever underestimate your ability to contribute to the world. Don't think just because you don't have what you want now, or you don't see the importance of yourself now, don't ever think that you don't have something great within you that the world needs. Nature creates nothing randomly. Everything is created for a purpose. Everything has a reason for being. And you are a part of everything. And it's something in you that's great and wonderful. We want you to just see it so you can give it to the world. The world needs it. There's that old song, what the world needs now is more love. What the world needs now is more you. Whatever you got. Whatever you bring to the table. Whatever you have. I thank you just for being you. I thank you for your existence, for bringing your light to the world. I thank you for the fact that you are alive today. I thank you for the fact that you stood your ground today. I thank you for the fact that you stood strong today and you kept moving forward today. I thank you for being special. I thank you for being you. I thank you for being a part of this overall experience that we call human existence. I thank you for your contribution. Whatever you have inside of you that the world could benefit from, I thank you for bringing it forth into the world. Whatever it may be. Even if all you bring to the world is just something that uplifts other people and empowers other people so they can shine their light. Even if the light that's inside of you shines so that other people can be drawn to a higher power, get closer to their God, whatever it is, whatever you bring to the table, I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much just for being you. Thank you so much for blessing us with your energy. Whoever you are, whoever's watching this, thank you so much for the blessing of you. Thank you so much for opening the door of our world with your energy and with your light. Blessings, peace and blessings. Thank you to everyone who's going to watch this. Thank you for everybody who's alive in the world today. Your greatness is needed. The light in you is needed. Even if you don't see the light in yourself, I see the light in you. Even if you don't know what you're going to contribute to the whole, understand you have something to contribute to the whole. You may not know what it is yet. You may not see that light inside of you yet. You might be surrounded by darkness and not see the beautiful light that is yourself. But I see it in you. I see it in you. Nature don't create anything that don't shine beautiful. Just like, a child looks like its mother, looks like its father. You're a child of nature. And everything in nature is made of light. Everything in nature is full of light and life and beauty. Even the harsh stuff. So thank you so much for being here with us. We're going to begin speaking in a few moments. I'm just waiting for Insight Timer. When Insight Timer kicks in, usually we'll start breaking down tonight's live stream lecture at about the 7-minute mark. So please be patient and thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. Peace and blessings. So we're going to get started on Insight Timer in about 30 seconds. I'm going to greet and welcome everybody, and then we'll begin. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And I hope you're having a blessed day. I hope your day is full of positive energy. And if you had a stressful day, I'm glad that you're here. Really glad that you're here. We will begin shortly. Well, I see somebody's already here, even before I even started. Jackie, how you doing? Sending some positive energy out. Hopefully you had a good day today. Alan, hello, how are you? Glad to see you guys are here. Who else we got in the building tonight? Blessings to everybody. Peace and blessings, peace and love to everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. Maisha, what's going on? Jordan, San Jose, California. Okay. Maisha, you had a happy day today? I hope you all had an amazing day today. Melanie, how are you? a few minutes ago, I was thinking about my son. My son saw that I wrote a book, and he wanted, I guess he wanted to be like Dad. So he wrote a little book, and I was thinking about the story. He wrote it months ago, but for some reason today, it just hit me, and I really loved the story. It was a story about a shy chicken that really didn't like being around people and wanted to just do everything on his own. And so he rejected all of his friends and got mad at everybody and said, I could do anything by myself, and left. Right? Elk Grove, Barbara, how you doing? So he goes on this adventure and he comes across all these obstacles, and he got to cross the ocean, and there's a huge boat, and he's attacked by birds and attacked by a snake, and he ends up going back home. And then when he goes back home, he realizes he misses all his friends. And my son is like, he was 7 when he wrote it, before he turned 8. And I remember just thinking, like, he don't understand fully, but the character actually had a character arc. The character, like, actually changed. Like, he didn't like being around people at first. And then he, like, left and went out into the world and had all these obstacles and realized how important it was to let people in. I thought that was so cool. And he, of course, as a 7-year-old, he probably can't articulate it that way. But I know that's what he was trying to say. And I thought that was really beautiful. So, in harmony with that, tonight is a night where I really want everybody to feel comfortable and feel safe and let each other in. Let you into my world, my little shy world, and let me into your little shy world. The moral of his story is that we all need friends. We all need support. And that's what we're here for. And that's what we're here for. Alan, yeah, it was lovely. It was nice. I want him to write another book. But I've been hinting, beating around the bush, wanting him to write another one. He hasn't written another one yet, but I've been encouraging him in subtle ways to write another one, because I really like that story. But yeah, we're gonna get started soon. We're gonna get started at about the 7-minute mark. So in the meantime, in between time, let's just do a quick check-in. How's everybody feeling today? Hopefully everybody had a good day. Hopefully you guys got some positive energy. Crystal from the UK, hello. Hello. Excuse me while I light my candles. I'll get some more scented candles. I'm not sure what brand these are, but they don't smell as good as my old ones. There we go. Barbara, you feel good? You feel tired? Well, sometimes tired is good. Sometimes tired means you're going to get a good night's rest. Hopefully that's what it means for you. Crystal, another sleepless night? What time is it over in the UK, Crystal? I used to have really bad insomnia, so I feel for anybody who's having a rough time sleeping. But that's what we're here for. Maybe next week we'll do like a late night meditation. I'll turn these lights off and do like a meditation for those that can't sleep. Had a hard day, you're low on energy. Jordan, you suffer from so next week that's what we'll do. Next week we'll all get together, have a nighttime meditation. I'll turn these lights down low. We'll all get together, chill, do a late night meditation. Just relax a little bit. Can't switch your mind off. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've been there. Let me ask a question. Crystal, do you like exercise or work out before you go to bed? Like, does your energy feel high before you go to bed? What's your activities before you go to bed? Nope. So, because I know when I was going through real bad insomnia, I would work out at night, and then my body would be revved up and I wouldn't be able to sleep. Can't turn off the brain. Okay. Yeah, meditation helps. I would meditate for like an hour. Sometimes it would take me like an hour, but I would go into a meditation zone and just meditate sometimes for like an hour until I fell asleep. That's a trick that I learned. Cool showers. Don't eat before bed. Make sure you don't look at your phone at all for like maybe a couple of hours before bedtime. No TV. Oh, okay. Usually you're so sleepy you fall asleep on the sofa. Okay. Tonight's just one of those nights, huh? All right, yeah, but that's what helped me. Those little tricks helped me. Sleepy time tea. Don't eat too soon before bed. No phone, TV time. So if you know you're going to bed at 10 o'clock, stop looking at your phone at 8. My my sleep schedule now is kind of messed up because I have an evening job. I get off of work at like 11:15 at night. So because I wake up, I eat late, and then I wake up in the morning and I'm not hungry. So now it's like I'll eat probably my last meal at like 11 at night, and then I'm up till about 2. But I'm trying to break that because I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to sleep more at night so I can get up earlier and go back to working out. Crystal, you wake up at 3 and your brain starts. Yeah, I've dealt with that as well. When you wake up at that time, deep, slow breaths. Deep, slow breaths. Concentrate on your breathing. Don't let your mind wander. Your mind is pieces going on. Salute, my brother. Don't let your mind wander. Just train the brain. It could take some time, but make sure you train your body to go to sleep at a certain time. All right, so we're at the 7-minute mark, guys. So let's hop into what we're gonna discuss. I'm glad that everybody's here. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. Salutations, namaste, assalamu alaikum, hotep, all of that stuff. So what we're gonna talk about tonight is healing ourselves, right? We talk a lot about healing here. In the last few weeks, we've been really emphasizing trying to figure out ways to heal ourselves and empower ourselves, which I think is amazing. And we've had so many really good conversations. And this particular conversation was very important to me because I realized that there's a trick, right? I myself have gone through deep depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety, panic attacks, you name it, I went through it, right? I started meditating, which really helped me to stabilize myself. There was still more work to be done, but when I started meditating, it helped me to stabilize myself, right? And then after I started meditating, I was so happy and so joyful that I wasn't having the panic attacks and I wasn't freaking out and I wasn't, I was able to handle the emotions a lot better than I used to. I started teaching mindfulness and meditation. Why is this story important? Well, I met a guy years ago, cool dude, Ernie. You guys have probably heard me mention Ernie before. Ernie was a guy who back in the day was a real, just tough dude. You know what I mean? He was a biker and one of them biker gangs. Didn't take no trash from nobody. He was reckless. He would fight anybody at the drop of a hat. Ernie was a wild guy. You know what I mean? He told us some crazy stories. And I like Ernie a lot. Ernie ended up going to jail a couple of times and going through some really tough experiences. And along the way, he had some habits. He had some addictions that he had to battle, some demons that he had to battle. One of the things that helps him to fight his demons and remain sober is the fact that he went to AA and NA and he became what they call a sponsor. He became a tireless sponsor, so he was always going to meetings, always talking and giving speeches, always leading the meetings. He was one of those guys. He would come work with the kids at the facility where I worked, Rushford and Connecticut, and he would tell the kids up front, if you need anything, just call me. And he would literally mean it. And kids would come out of their rooms sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning and be like, I gotta talk to Ernie. And in those situations, if they really needed it, we would let them use the phone and call Ernie 1, 2 in the morning. Ernie was always there for them. And that's the whole point I'm trying to bring us to. Helping others help transform himself. And that's a tool that a lot of us can use as we go through our struggles with anxiety or depression. If we uplift ourselves and empower ourselves in order to help us stay on that path of healing, helping others heal is a very important step. That's a very important layer of healing. There's a guy named Feynman who said that you want to really, really learn something, you should teach it. As you're teaching it, you're going over the information over and over again. You're memorizing certain things. You're learning how to communicate it better. You're learning the nuances of the information. So as you're going through the healing process, you heal more as you teach others to heal. You learn from all the mistakes that you made. You learn from the pain that you've gone through. And when you see that shining light at the end of the tunnel, it looks so far away. But when you bring other people's with you in that darkness, you empower each other. And as you make steps closer and closer and closer to the light, you feel stronger and more powerful because you're bringing others to the light too. Imagine if you're walking in the darkness, trying to find a way to the light. Eventually you'll get tired. You'll want to quit. You'll feel like I can't do it no more. You'll feel like I've been in the darkness for years. I can't find the light, right? But then for something in us as human beings, we're neurologically and biologically designed to be around other people, to connect with other people. Even the most introverted of us, even those of us who may suffer from social anxiety, still need people. And so when we tap into that need for people, when satisfy that need for people, it empowers us. How many of us will do something and then when we get tired, we'll quit? We quit, right? We'll quit. Like, I'm done. I'm tired. I don't want to do it no more. But if you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your kids, you'll keep going. Or even there's somebody watching right now. My brother, we used to work out together. We used to call ourselves Monster Mash. That was our workout name. We go to the gym and just hit the weights real hard. Call ourselves Monster Mash, right? And when we was Monster Mash, a lot of times I would work out and do my routine, but when he was with me, I'd go harder. In sociology, they call that the mere presence of others. The mere presence of having other people around you can just make you stronger, make you more powerful. That's how the human mind is designed. When you got to do it alone, it can be tougher. And sometimes, yes, in many instances, it can be more efficient to go alone because you ain't got to deal with other people's stuff. But when we work together as a team, we become more powerful. We become more powerful when we can work together as a team, when we can feed off each other and encourage each other and up each other and empower each other. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing when we can work together. And I know that helping others and teaching others has kept me on the path of spirituality and kept me on the path of trying to uplift myself and empower myself. And I know for a fact that can work for anybody. How do I know it can work for anybody? Because I've seen it work for everybody. Everybody who's tried it. Now, I'm not saying you should run out there while you're still hurt and wounded and you're still trying to heal and empower yourself and then run out there and try to save the world. We're not talking about that. But after you stabilize yourself, when you reach back and you pull somebody else out of the darkness, you help somebody else to stand up, you help somebody else to feel brave, that empowers you. That heals you. Love heals us. And to put yourself in these situations where you're empowering others, it's a form of giving love. And giving love can really heal you. I know a lot of us have been hurt. You want to hide your love away, right? You don't want to love no more. You've been hurt. You've been lied to. You've been traumatized. People played you for the dummy. People humiliated you, rejected you. Trust me, I know. I'm a connoisseur of humiliation when it comes to romance. I'm a connoisseur of rejection. I've been rejected in so many amazing ways. I just laugh at it now. But I realize that I empower myself by still giving love to others. I empower myself and make myself strong and make myself better by continuing to want to empower other people. And I'm not saying be a fool. I'm not saying go out there and throw yourself in front of a car wreck of a person. Some people out there are just car wrecks waiting to happen. And you know who they are. I'm not saying throw yourself at a car wreck of a person, but I am saying keep your heart open. And I don't even necessarily mean romantically. It could just be socially. It could just be, giving somebody love who needs it. Making a stand when somebody needs you to make a stand for them. Standing your ground for somebody who needs you to stand your ground for them. And helping somebody find their way out of the darkness. So you won't get lost in the darkness either. Because it can happen. After you heal from depression, I don't mean you'll never get depressed again. After you heal from anxiety, doesn't mean you won't feel anxious again. And so we empower ourselves when we empower others, when we properly empower others. Now, what do I mean when we properly empower others? There's rules to this. There's rules to trying to empower other people because it's so tricky, especially when you're a person who's been hurt. If you're a person who's been traumatized, especially if you've been romantically traumatized or sexually traumatized, we keep living out our trauma in our relationships. So we make ourselves very, very vulnerable. We're out here trying to find love and connect with other people. And we make foolish decisions. We make decisions based on our trauma. Our trauma is unconscious. Your trauma is stuck in your unconscious mind. I heard somebody say something very wise. They said your central nervous system is the unconscious mind. You know, your body is your unconscious mind. So you might see somebody who reminds you of a trauma that you've experienced and get sexually turned on. And so you throw yourself at this car wreck of a person. And that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about endangering ourselves. We're talking about being honest with ourselves as far as what we need, but also realizing that by helping other people, we make ourselves stronger, and we need to. If you're a person who's going through depression and you find an opportunity to help somebody else, you need to take that opportunity. But there's rules, like I said. And I actually made a list. If you'll forgive me, I made a list. I made a list of what we will do and a list of what we won't do. Give me 1 second. I'm having some issues with this. This computer just starts acting wacky on me for some reason. Alright, I'll leave it be. But here's a list of what we will do. In our attempts to empower ourselves by empowering our brothers and sisters around us. This is what we will do. I will give love and support. That means that you're going to have to, you're going to have to support other people as they're trying to heal themselves. And that's the rule. Yeah, exactly, Alvin. That love got to be shared with yourself. And that's the rule. You're going to give love and support. And that's the rule. You're going to give love and support to others, but at the same time, you're going to give love and support, and that's it. You don't necessarily have to give money. You don't have to necessarily let somebody come into your life. You don't have to necessarily believe everything somebody tells you. You will give love and support, and people are going to try to ask for more than that. You're going to give love and support, they're going to try to ask for sex. You're going to try to give love and support, they're going to ask you to support them financially. You try to give love and support, they're going to try to invade your personal space. You give them love and support, people who are hurt are typically takers. Individuals who are not on the path to healing are takers. And so that's what you're going to offer, love and support. And that's where we draw the line. Anything beyond that, anything toxic, anything unhealthy, we're drawing the line. We're going to give love and support. But that don't mean you can guilt me. People will try to guilt you when you try to offer them love and support. I offer you love and support. Oh, for real, well, you should offer me more than that. A friend of mine was telling me a story about a guy he knew. A guy called him and was like, nah, he said, let me get some money. And he brought some money. My boy told him, nah, I can't give you no money. I'm about to go on a date real quick. The date didn't pan out. So the guy called him back, what happened with that date? Oh, I didn't take the chick out, so I just did something else by myself. Well, how much were you going to spend on that woman? I'm not sure, probably maybe $80 or whatever. Oh, okay, so you can spend $80 on her, but you can't spend $80 on me? See, that's messed up. Guilting you, making you feel guilty. You offering him love and support, but he sees this as, it's a sweet lick. It's a Vic. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity to take something from somebody else. But all I'm going to offer is love and support. If it gets to the point where you're trying to take more than my love and my support, we don't need to be together. I offer you love and support. You offer me guilt, shame. Don't need it. No thank you. Right? I will use what I've learned from my mistakes to serve others. Quite often we put ourselves in situations where we've gone through really tough times, really tough circumstances, but we learn lessons. Especially when you've been through the same tough circumstances over and over again, you learn lessons. Trust and believe me. I've been through enough times where I fell down. I've been through enough times in my life where I got hurt. I've been through enough times in my life where I made mistakes. I've learned. I've learned big lessons, and I've learned the little tiny nuances and details of those lessons. Because I made so many mistakes, and so many big mistakes. Learned my lesson. So I can take the lessons that I've learned and give them to somebody else so I can benefit them. That's the cool thing. Well, not the cool thing, because there's nothing cool about being hurt. But one of the benefits of having these negative experiences is the fact that we learn lessons. And some of us, because of the pain that we've been through, we know lessons that other people have not even, they wouldn't even understand. So you see opportunities to teach and educate others because you've been in the same spot or worse. And you pulled yourself up. So after you pull yourself up out of the darkness, you can guide others along that path. As opposed to watching them make the same mistakes over and over again. Hey, listen, I've been where you've been. A lot of my conversations start with that. Especially when I talk to the teenagers that I work with, a lot of my conversations start with that. I've been where you've been. Oh yeah, I felt that way before too. This is what I did to help me. You're right. Yeah, you're right. When unhappy, you feel lacking, you seek stuff. Thank you, Slayman. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. No, you don't have to apologize for being late. We're just glad that you're here, man. Glad that you're here. But yeah, that's one of the important things. Value your mistakes. Value some of these negative experiences. Because it taught you lessons. You can use those lessons to help others. And hopefully they can avoid the same traps that we fell into. As we're trying to help people, there's another rule, very important rule. I will continue to heal. That's very important. It's very important that you continue to heal, because a lot of us, once we overcome our obstacles and we reach back out and try to help other people, we stop doing the work on ourselves. For some of us, our daily meditation is a part of our healing process. For some of us, going to the therapist is a part of the healing process. Being wrongfully accused in your life made you stronger in your life. Well, Suleiman, if that's something that gave you power and energy, and that negativity like gave you like a lesson or something that you learned to benefit other people, then you know what? Yeah, be grateful. Julian, you gotta go. All right, well, Julian, see you later, man. Sponsoring for 20 years. And yeah, Barbara, and you know what? That's beautiful. Thank you. Everybody, salute Barbara for sponsoring for 20 years. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. There's a lot of people out there struggling. I got a friend of mine who's really, really struggling with alcoholism and drug addiction. He's been struggling for years. And I know that it can be tough because, I'm not officially his sponsor, but I'm the guy who gets the phone calls and the text messages 1, 2 in the morning. I know it can be rough. So for you to put yourself out there for people and make yourself available for people, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thank you for helping those people. And like you said, it gives you a sense of joy. So for an individual who's gone through that healing process, helping others makes you joyful. And I bet it empowers you. It makes you even happier to be clean and sober. Right? And so as I was saying, I will continue to heal. We want to keep healing. As we're trying to help others, sometimes we neglect ourselves. We try to open up to other people and open up opportunities and present opportunities to other people, but then we stop our healing process. The things that we need to do to heal, we stop doing it simply because we're trying so hard to save other people and protect other people. But one of the things that we have to do as we putting in the work trying to uplift other people around us, we have to make sure that we continue to heal ourselves. We have to continue to put the work in for ourselves. Yes, we see value in others. Yes, we want to give others love and protection and light and energy. But we absolutely positively must continue to heal ourselves. We have to. Can't neglect ourselves. And this whole process of trying to give an energy exchange, there's a person who used the metaphor of a well. You gotta let the well fill up with water. You can't let the well run dry. Trying to give water to all these other people who are thirsty, and then let your own well run dry. You have to let yourself replenish. You have to let your energy replenish. You have to heal. Keep healing. Don't ever stop that process as you're trying to help others, because then you'll destroy yourself and you won't be of any use to them anyway. So continue to put the work in on you. Continue to heal on you. Okay? I will have healthy boundaries as we put in the work trying to uplift the other people around us, because we understand that they need us. Quite often we let people overstep their bounds. Remember, like I said, a lot of, there's a song where somebody said, hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And it's not always an intentional thing. Individuals who have been hurt, traumatized, abused, quite often they become what they call desocialized. So a lot of times they behave in a way where they're constantly taking your energy, taking your resources, taking your time. And for them, because they live a lifestyle where they've been hurt and they need to heal, quite often these individuals who've been hurt and need to heal, they live a totally different life from individuals who have healed. So they're going to be up 2, 3 in the morning. They're going to be walking around the street 4 o'clock in the morning. They're going to sleep for 12 hours, then get up and be up for 4 days straight. And they want that time, and they're going to barge into your life. You got you like I used to have a schedule for my sons, right? And I used to make sure nothing broke that schedule. So if somebody caught me with some craziness going on, I'm not answering the phone. Yeah, that's true. That's a part of it as well, Alan. That's a big part of it. When you grew up in a hostile world, and you become hostile to other people, even the individuals who are trying to help you, you may maintain hostility towards them. Or you may be an individual who was raised in an environment where you had to constantly manipulate for your daily bread. Imagine somebody who had to lie every single day. Imagine somebody who had to steal and cheat every single day. Then you let them into your world and try to offer them kindness, but they've been stealing so long to eat. Stealing so long, taking from people for so long, they start trying to take from you. I've had that happen. I've had it happen in small ways. I had it happen in big ways. You try to open the door to kindness to some people and they take full advantage. And it's not even necessarily that they're being evil and wicked. It's just that that's how they are. Because they were raised in an environment where that kind of behavior was needed for their survival. So understand that you need to draw very clear boundaries. And you need to say no. Yeah, they're scared. Yeah, and that's a good point, Alan. They're scared. Sometimes people are scared. And that makes them act in a certain way. But it's up to you to understand that you can have compassion. And you can have sympathy. And you can have empathy. And you can imagine walking a mile in their shoes. But at the same time, you can't let other people diminish your well. You have to have clear boundaries to save yourself. Like I said in the last one, you got to continue to heal. You got to continue to heal. How can you heal when somebody's taking all of your energy? The healing process takes a lot of resources. You know how much resources and how much energy it takes if you break a bone? You break a bone, your body got to put that bone back together. All the food that you eat is going to fix that. The water you drinking is going to fix that. The sugar in your body's going to burn a lot of that sugar trying to fix that broken bone. And then you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel sleepy. You're going to be in pain. Your body's going to use a lot of energy. You know how much endorphins and chemicals in your brain that your neural network is going to have to generate in order to help you deal with the pain of walking around with a broken bone? And that's important too, Barbara. Remember that one, because I do mention that one too next. I'm going right where you are, Barbara. We right there. We simpatico. Right? So you have to have healthy boundaries, and that's for you. And if anybody gets upset about your boundaries, that typically means you gotta let that person go. Gotta let people go. Somebody can't respect your boundaries, then it means they don't care about you. And the last thing you want to do is end up in a situation where you're trying to save somebody who don't care about you. You're trying to help somebody who don't care about you. There has to be some kind of reciprocity. There has to be some kind of understanding. If they make a mistake, you got to be understanding, and they got to be understanding towards you too. I understand you made a mistake. I understand you're going through a tough time. I understand you're experiencing pain. You understand you're going too far. You got to fall back. That's the least you could do. Right? Jade, thank you so much. So, next one. I will keep learning. As we're going through this process, we got to keep learning because we're trying to take the information that we have. And now you let everyone go? Yeah, sometimes you got to. Because if you're a person who's going through a toxic period in your life, a period where you were sick, and now you're trying to heal, think about it. During that period of your time in your life, like back in the day when I used to drink, everybody around me drank. Then when I stopped drinking and got more spiritual, a lot of people, I haven't seen them since. Because that was those friends were drinking Devin's friends. Those friends were Devin's pill popping friends. Devin, the sober dude, he needs some new friends. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I will continue to learn. Learning is a part of healing as well. And you have to learn about yourself and look within yourself and learn about who you are. But also with me, a big part of the learning portion of healing was just reading and studying. Reading about attachment styles. I had to learn. I had a insecure attachment style. Learning about psychology. Learning about, cognitive behavioral therapy. Not that I'm a therapist or anything, but I like to read about things like that. If I can find tools that can help me and benefit me, I'm all in. Take a breathwork class. I took a breathwork class a couple of months ago. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of opportunities out there for you to continue to learn and take everything that you learn and just put it inside you. Put it to work instantly. And then the more you learn, the more you can help others. But you're going to need to keep feeding this well. This well is going to continue to need water and need replenishment. And the more you take in for yourself, the more you can give. It's not selfish. It's ironically enough, sometimes it's not selfish to be selfish. Sometimes you build yourself up and pat yourself on the back and give yourself love and pamper yourself just so you can have the energy to go back out in the world and give even more of yourself. Sometimes it's not selfish to be selfish. Keep learning. It's tough, but you've healed. Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find healthy people when you spend a lot of time in your life, in a different mental space. And now things are changing, and you want to change as well. And it's not that there's no healthy people out there. I think quarantine and COVID messed things up. You can't really socialize like you used to. You can't really you can't just walk up to people you don't know and spark conversations no more because they got a mask on, you got a mask on, you're nervous about them. I remember when I was young, I would have these really strange misadventures when I was young. I would go places and just meet people and then just hop in the car with them and go wherever they go. And then for like a day or two, we just hanging out. That would happen with women. It would happen. I went to a comic book convention in New York in 2005. I was 25 years old. I went with a friend of mine. And we just met this dude. And he was like, yeah, come hang out with me. This dude from Vietnam. And he's like, yeah, come hang out with me. We'll just hang out. And we hung out the whole night. We didn't know this dude from Adam. He just took us to a whole bunch of bars, bought us a whole bunch of food. It was pretty cool. Much more peaceful, yeah. But, eventually, hopefully, you'll connect with some people. I think that's important. Socializing is important. That's the whole point of what we're talking about. How you need to connect. My son taught me that. And then last but not least on my list, I will be honest with myself. Why did I say that? I said I'll be honest with myself because I understand there's a lot of individuals out there who are on a path to healing. And especially if you're healing from alcoholism, from drug abuse, things of that nature, we lie to ourselves. I've had plenty of people who will say, I can hang around individuals who drink because it's not going to affect me. And then they end up relapsing. I can help this guy out who does cocaine. It's not going to affect me. And then you end up relapsing. A lot of times we're not being honest with ourselves because you want to give in to those impulses. And if you want to heal yourself and heal others, you got to be honest with yourself. There's going to be moments where you got to say to yourself, I can't do it. There's going to be moments where you're going to say to yourself, I can't go no further. Thank you for the donation, Linda. Appreciate it. There might be moments where you're going to have to say to yourself, you know what? I can't go there. They're drinking. I'm not going. They're smoking. I'm not going. I'm staying away from that. I'm trying to heal. Exactly. You can't heal in a place you got sick. Perfect. Perfect way to put it. And that's very true. And sometimes we're just not honest with ourselves. Oh, I don't want to drink no more. I overcame alcoholism. I'll go hang out with them. I'll go hang out with them. It don't matter. They drinking. I can handle being around them if they drinking. And then you hang out with them worse. And if you're battling the urge to drink, it's always the same pattern. You always hang out with them the first night and you don't drink. And you're like, oh, I got this thing beat. It's nothing to it. Then the second time, I'll have a shot. The next thing you know, you're right back down that path again. Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen it too much. So you got to be honest with yourself. It's okay to say, I can't do it. It's okay to say, I'm not strong enough yet. It's okay to say I'll offer you help, but I'm not doing that. That's a part of boundaries. Being honest with yourself is a part of boundaries. And understand, your mind is tricky. They say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Your mind is just a liar. I said that y'all heard me sing before. I used to write songs. I had a line in a song where I was like, my eyes are deceivers, my mind is a liar tonight. Like, your mind will just lie. You can go hang out with her. You're not going to try to have sex with her. You be good, man. You just go in there as a friend. How many times I thought that when I was a little kid? When I was not a kid, but when I was like a young man, I'd be like, man, that girl is toxic. I don't want to be around her. But I'm just bored. I'm just going out there to hang out. And next thing you know, you know what I mean? you trying to do some grown-up stuff. You talking about you gonna go over there just because you bored, you want to hang out. Or you'll go over there just because she's lonely, she just needs somebody real quick. You're not going over there for nothing sexual. You just going to hang out. You ain't even being honest with yourself. You know you lying. You trying to heal. She's toxic, but you gonna go over there real quick and try to do some grown-up stuff. But you're not being honest with yourself. You gotta be honest with yourself or you're gonna put yourself in horrible situations. You're gonna be honest with yourself or you're gonna put yourself in some tough situations. And some of these situations, you might not be able to pull yourself out of. It's like that line, in that movie Pulp Fiction, where the character Jules, played by Samuel L. Jackson, there's a guy who's trying to talk his way out of a situation, and he's like talking real fast, and he's like real nervous. And he looks at the Jules character, and he's like, what's your name? And Jules looks at him and he says, my name is Pitt, and you ain't crawling your way out of it. That's what happens a lot of times. You put yourself in the pit and you ain't crawling your way out of it. All right, so now we have a list of things that we will do, right? So let's look at the list of things that we won't do. Because like I said, we got to draw clear boundaries. We have to have a clear idea of what it is we're trying to do, of what we're trying to do. And quite often we set these traps for ourselves because you want to go back to the unhealed lifestyle. Your body wants to lead you back to where you came from. You have habits. You have a certain way of living that you're used to. So we get stuck in that. So we need to have a real clear line of what we're going to do and how we're going to live. So we won't make the same mistakes. So one thing that we will not do, when we talk about helping others help others to heal so we can heal ourselves, empowering others so we can empower ourselves, we got to be clear on what we're not going to do. What we're not going to do, number one, we are not going to try to save others. I've tried that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have tried that too. You can't save nobody. And I'm going to just say that again. You can't save nobody. A lot of us in the U.S. and the Western world were raised with a Christian background and raised hearing the story about Jesus Christ dying for our sins, and we feel like we got to live up to that same spiritual metaphor. We got to give up our lives to save other people. We got to give up what we have to save other people. If I hurt myself, it's okay. If I get hurt, I don't mind as long as I help them. But you got to understand, you can't save anybody. They have to save themselves. Even in the Bible says things that seem contradictory. The Bible says Jesus Christ died for your sins, and the Bible also says that faith without works is dead. So you got to work. Even if you believe in Jesus Christ died for your sins, you still got to work. The Bible says work out your salvation daily. You got to work. I want to help you. I want to support you and give you that love. Go back to what we said in the first list. We will give love and support. I'll give you love and support. Can't save you, and I'm not going to try. And some people will manipulate you into thinking that you can. You can't save anybody. You can't save nobody. They have to make the decision to say they have to work out their salvation daily. Every single day, just like the way you did. That's a very important lesson you had to learn. Look at what you had to do in order to heal yourself. Like when I went through depression, I was determined to beat depression. And it wasn't a day-by-day battle. It wasn't even an hour-by-hour battle. It was a minute-by-minute battle every minute out of the day until I overcame and my brain was trained enough where I could stabilize myself to some degree. And they got to go through the same thing. You can make it easier for them by giving them love and support. You can make it easier for them by showing them the mistakes that you made and trying to teach them what you learned. But you ain't saving nobody. You're not. Me either. Sometimes I've had situations, sometimes I wished I could. I've had kids I've worked, oh my goodness. I don't even want to start crying. I had kids that I work with who I came in and tried to give them knowledge and got along really good with them and gave them love, gave them support, and they went out into the world and got caught up in situations, and some of them even passed away. I mean, you can't save nobody. They have to make the decisions to change their lives. And all you can do is just plant seeds and water the seeds. And you know, there's an old saying. There's an old saying that says if you want to plan for the year, plant corn. You want to plan for 200 years, plant trees. And basically, a lot of times when you're working with individuals trying to help other people, you might just plant some seeds and never see the seeds grow. Exactly, their journey needs to be their journey. Correct. Yeah, you're making yourself less comfortable by trying to save them. And also, you know, you love people so much, sometimes you'll give everything that you have to give. But it's not fair to you and not fair to those around you who may need you in the future. And then it's not fair to the person that you're giving yourself to. You're giving everything you have to give to somebody. And just like you can't save them, they can't save you either. You can't save them and they probably can't love you. You're giving everything you got to give because you're hoping that they can love you. And they can't love you neither. That's okay, Kiran. Next one. I will not sacrifice my well-being. I won't. Not doing it. If I haven't slept in 2-3 days and you call me out the blue saying you need me for something, I'm not giving up on my necessary sleep to come save you. I'm not giving up on my family. I'm not giving up on making sure that I'm okay. I'm not giving up on my spiritual journey. I'm not giving up on my peace of mind. I'm not giving up on my pride or my self-respect. I'm not going to give up my well-being that I had to fight for just so I can give it to you. And you won't appreciate it anyway. And you can't keep it and sustain it anyway. I have to protect myself. I have to protect myself. I can't help you if I don't anyway. And as much love as I have for you, I have to make sure that I take care of myself. Help you how I can, but I'm not gonna destroy my well-being and my inner peace. That's too high of a price to pay. And that's too high of a price to ask. If somebody's willing to actually ask you for your self-respect and your inner peace, you can't deal with that person. Some people will ask you for that. They'll ask you for your every little drop of energy you got. And that's when it's to the point where it's so toxic that you'll end up destroying yourself, trying to keep somebody from destroying themselves. And it's a lost cause anyway. I will not allow myself to be the victim. It's another rule. I will not allow myself to be the victim. I'm not going to do it. No matter what happens, no matter how much I want you to survive and live and thrive and be happy, I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to allow you to dehumanize me and take away my happiness. And there's some individuals out there who are on the path to healing who can't heal one of the most important dimensions of their soul. There's a part of some people who want to be victimized, who want to be hurt. And as you're trying to heal, you have to heal that part of you too. That wound that's so vast that you can constantly keep throwing joy and love and happiness and stability into this infinite wound just to see them get swallowed up into nothingness. You got to heal that wound. Some people have been trained from an early age, from abuse, from trauma, to feel like they have to be the victim. They don't feel normal unless they're being victimized. And you can't allow yourself to feel like that. Some people don't know how to sustain positive, healthy relationships. They don't know what that is. They only know what it is to be rejected or hurt or victimized. And we have to be honest with ourselves and look at ourselves and ask ourselves, are we being victimized in this situation? Because some of us may subconsciously want that. Hurt people, toxic people, yep. So make sure that as we're helping others, make sure we're not giving into some kind of subconscious desire to be the victim. Because the victim is always right. You realize that? Some people want to be the victim because the victim is always right. There's a sense of guilt and shame in you where you feel like you did something wrong. But if somebody hurts you, then you feel like you're right. They hurt me this time. It wasn't me that did anything wrong. They hurt me. The victim is always right. And some people are so terrified of being judged for being wrong or being judged for making a mistake, and they feel like they have to be the victim. And you got to promise yourself you won't do that. Don't allow yourself to use somebody else and their dysfunction as a means of penalizing yourself or reliving some kind of trauma that you haven't healed from. I will not be dishonest. And that goes back to what we were saying before. A lot of times we put ourselves in these situations that we can get hurt in. Haven't thought about it that way? Yeah. Linda, thank you so much. A lot of times we're being dishonest. Sometimes we'll put ourselves in situations where we can get hurt. We can get sucked in. We can get drawn in by negativity. And we'll be dishonest with ourselves, saying, oh, I can go there. It's not a big deal. I can handle it. And then sometimes somebody might be draining your energy, draining your soul. But you keep saying, oh, I'm not that tired. They're not asking for that much. I mean, yeah, I did a whole bunch of things for them today, and they were upset and angry at me, but, it's not really their fault. I'll go over there and I'll help out. I can give a little bit more. We're not always honest with ourselves. We're not always honest about what we can and can't handle, but we're also not always honest about how other people feel about us and treat us. It's hard to be honest with yourself. When you're in a path to healing, a lot of times, a big part of healing is we want to avoid pain. So we start being dishonest with ourselves. And sometimes you can put yourself in a situation where, somebody's treating you like crap and you don't want to be honest about it because you don't want to acknowledge the fact that they're treating you like crap. You don't want to deal with that kind of rejection. You don't want to deal with that kind of abuse. So you lie to yourself and tell yourself that it's not abuse. Or you'll tell yourself that you can go to a certain place and be around a certain person. Or you can tell yourself you're going to go see your ex, not because you're still interested, because you're just going to check on them, see how they're doing. We lie to ourselves a lot on the healing path. And we lie to ourselves a lot when we're trying to help others to heal too. And we have to promise ourselves that we're not going to be dishonest. This is an important one. Next one is a very important one. I will not work harder than the person I want to help. How many times have we found ourselves helping other people and doing more than them? Jackie, you had a conversation with a therapist? Yeah, it's real. I find myself a lot of times in situations where I'm trying to help other people and I find myself working harder than them. And I've worked with young adolescents in the community as well, so I find myself a lot of times, like I'm, trying to get them AA classes and trying to get them, enrolled in school programs and trying to do this and trying to do that, and they're not doing anything. Sometimes they won't even show up. It's very, very, very important that we understand that if we're really here to help somebody, helping somebody means falling back and letting them learn how to stand on their own 2 feet. I got two sons, and I remember I wanted my sons to learn how to walk. And sometimes I would walk with them and I would hold their hand, but then I found a trick where I would take the living room table, because a lot of times they would walk and they would hold onto the living room table as they were standing on their 2 feet. And what I would do is I would pull the table a little bit away from the couch, and then I would put something on the couch that they really want, whether it be a new toy, candy, whatever. And then they would hold onto the table and look at what they wanted on the couch, and then they would have to walk. Even if they only walked one step on their own and then fell up against the couch and held on to the couch, that's okay. They had to walk to go get that toy. They had to go walk to get that piece of candy. And then after a while, they would start walking. Nice strong legs. Now they two strong little boys running and jumping and climbing over everything. Trash in the house every time they come over. Right? But you had to let them learn how to walk on their own. Daddy can't hold your hand forever. And you can't hold nobody's hand forever. Can't work harder than they are. And sometimes a big part of healing is letting somebody hurt. You can't dry every tear. And the cool thing about tears is that tears are actually part of the healing process. When you get something in your eye is irritated, what happens? You start tearing up. Right? You get cut, you start bleeding, your skin start... I had where was it? I had a cut. I get cuts all over me, but I had a cut on me and it was like irritated, it was itchy, but it was healing. Didn't feel good at all. Jackie, that's like a great dad. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, that healing process is uncomfortable. Can't dry every tear. I got two sons. And my sons cry, and my first impulse is to go up to them like, oh baby, I'm so... But then I realized, like, you can't baby them like that. They're two little boys. They're gonna want to adventure. And they're not gonna always want daddy to be there to hold them back. So sometimes I let my kids do stuff. And sometimes they get hurt, but they're all right. They're strong. They're stronger than you think. Same thing with the individuals you're trying to help. They're stronger than you think. Now, my son was there were these concrete things that they use when they do construction. They had these big concrete things that they put over the area where there's construction happening, and people can't drive past them. They're like roadblocks. And my son was climbing on top of one, and there's a whole bunch of them lined up in this parking lot that we were in. And he's jumping from one to the next and one to the next. And then there was one that was real far from the other one, and he jumped and he slipped and he fell. And then, his mom was like, oh my God, no, my baby. And I just go over to him. I'm like, Divine, look at me. You okay? I'm patting him down, making sure he didn't break anything. He's like, okay, I'm fine. So I had to tell her, like, yo, calm down. He's okay. He's okay. He can do it. And most importantly, you got to understand in life, one of the most important, and it's going to sound crazy, one of the most important skills that a human being will ever have is the ability to get hurt and bounce back from that. You got to let people get hurt. It sounds crazy. That's an important skill. Knowing how to get hurt and bounce back from that is an important skill. That's how you get these guys. A lot of these guys who get their feelings hurt by their girlfriends and then they hurt the women. That's because these guys were never taught to get hurt and bounce back. You see these guys, like, I used to work with kids who were like that. Their girlfriends would reject them or they would break up. And then they'd be like, oh, when I get home, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to beat her up. I'm like, yo, what you mean? What are you talking about? Resilience, exactly. People don't develop resilience when you do too much for them. Let them get hurt. Let them bounce back. That shows how much they really want it anyway. You protect them from everything inconvenient and protect them from anything that could possibly tempt them or throw them off their square. You're not benefiting them. Let them get hurt. It's a very important skill. Letting somebody learn that they can be hurt and they can overcome the pain. That's an important lesson. Too many people haven't learned that lesson. And so they're afraid to take risks and they're afraid to grow and develop because you can't grow and develop if you don't take risks. We're holding people back by not letting them put the work in. And last but not least, I will not stop healing. On this healing path, in this healing path is constant work. Constantly moving forward. Constant elevation. Constant studying. Constant learning. Constantly trying to uplift and empower myself so I can uplift and empower people around me. No days off in your personal development. Even if the only thing I do today for my personal development is to take 5 minutes to myself and just count my breaths. Even if my personal development today was praying. I hardly ever pray. I prayed for the first time in a while. It was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. Me and the big guy, we had a real good conversation. I love talking to God. I ain't talked to God in a while because I don't like asking for stuff. Because I feel like a lot of times when I was younger, I had the habit of praying when I wanted something or needed something. So I got out of the habit of prayer. But I prayed the other day. It was beautiful. I was like, oh man, it's beautiful. I pray more often. And that's a part of my self-development. It's a major part of my self-development. And it felt wonderful. So if you could just put those moments in throughout the course of the day, continue to heal, continue to develop yourself. Those little baby steps. You'll take these little baby steps every day, and then you'll look back and realize you've traveled 200 miles with just one little baby step a day. And then you empower yourself so you can empower others and continue the process of healing. Man, time, I'm not going to lie, time flew by on that one. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize. We're almost at the hour mark. Been up here babbling for an hour. I keep sipping this water, my mouth dry. My mouth dry. But yeah, that was, I think that we really had a good, they call it a build. When we sit and we talk and empower each other, that's a build. We had a real good build tonight. Thank y'all so much for showing up. I'm about to turn it in. Y'all know Thursdays I gotta take my kids to school in the morning. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who showed up. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. Jackie, thank you. I look forward to you guys being here too. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the donations. And for all of you guys, I will be back here next week. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jade. Do me a favor, guys. As you're leaving, I just want to say one thing. Tell a friend. Bring somebody. If you can bring somebody next week, bring somebody. Let's see if we can get these numbers a little bit higher. Just because I enjoy the experience and I enjoy speaking to people, I want to see if we can get some more positive energy in here. So if you guys can tell a friend and bring somebody, that'll be awesome. But if you can't, it's okay as well. I understand. But I appreciate already. Oh, Linda, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys have a good night. Peace and blessings to all of y'all. I will see you next week, Wednesday.